Okay, I think we're live. I'm kind of out of it. Not been streaming for 3 weeks, having vacation. It's been good. When you have kids, you don't really have vacation. It's sometimes more work to have vacation than, like, just now. I'm finally home alone. I'm going to be home alone for like 8 hours, just sitting in front of my computer doing what I love to do, which you don't really have time for in vacation with family, and especially having kids. So it's with mixed feelings. Vacation is over. But yeah, I talked to I realized that this little project we have, my girlfriend is kind of like the project owner of this app we're building, because it's actually for her and me and anyone else who finds it beneficial to use it. And she was asking like, how's it going? And we've been kind of like diving into all kinds of different things, which is fun. Like that's how it should be. But it would also be nice to get some real progress on the app itself. So I think we're going to at least try to do that. I've also been looking into like improving the streaming setup. So there's some new tools out there to do streaming, and also going to buy myself a new camera. Not that it really matters for this stream, but if I want to do something else and get a bit more a better quality on that. I'm also curious about like this microphone setup. It should be possible to make it better, but I'm not sure how to. Like, I have the right microphone. It's something with my setup, I guess. But anyways, let's just get back into it. So during the vacation, I did do some coding, but it was mostly related to stitches. So what I thought we could do to kick things off is to install the latest version of stitches and then do some refactoring into like a UI component, new release of Overmind, but I should. The changes coming there is related to like the dev tools has been improved, so that it's kind of interesting. We should actually spend a streaming session looking into this little library I built, which is like async JSON stringify parsing, and it's really cool how it works. And it's not for like performance, like it's slower, of course, than the native JSON parse and stringify, but it's smoother because tons of information from Overmind is passed into the dev tool, and there's tons of stringifying and parsing going on. And ideally, it shouldn't block like the UI thread, which can happen sometimes now. So it's more it's about like being consistent instead of being like the fastest. Anyways, let's get going here. I had some issues with my internet connection just before we started here, so I hope there's no like glitches. But yeah, I'll figure that out later. So let's install stitches styled. That's like the React version, and then we should, to make sure, we should remove that one. Yes, and now we're starting to get some errors, which we should, because we're going to import style there instead. And it has like, and I'm going to talk about the changes to this. Let's see, it's CSS style. So one of the changes to the API is that, good morning, Danny. One of the changes is that when you create style now, you don't pass in a CSS instance, you rather pass in the configuration, and then you get a styled and CSS instance back. And this has to do with typing. Like, stitches has been like a big challenge, almost as big of a challenge as Overmind, to get the typing there to work the way I want it to. But yeah, I've gotten lots of feedback, and some of that feedback has also been related to what we're seeing here, because we have this functional API for stitches, but people, for familiarity reasons, want object syntax. And then we implemented that, but running both object syntax and this lower level functional API makes the object syntax slower because it's built on top of the functional API instead of being explicitly implemented with object syntax in mind. So the functional API was removed, so there's only object syntax now. So we need to refactor that. Okay, so we have container, screen container, floating. Let's just copy these over, and let's create our first UI component. What was it? Container. We need to import React, and let's have a look. Let's just paste these in. So we're going to export a container here. It's well, yeah. And we need to import styled from CSS. And we're going to build a div. And as I said, it's like object syntax. Oh, shit. Oh, what's happening? Oh my God. No, 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 no. Why don't we have any typing here? It might be because, oh. No, that's not an error, is it? Let's see. I might have to restart the language server. Let's try that. By the way, in terms of Code Sandbox, there's quite a few changes. So we have like a new dashboard now, and we also updated to TypeScript 397. Svelte language server. Interesting. Why am I not getting any typing here? This is really strange. Okay, let me just save this, and we're going to refresh. It might be related to me changing the dependencies here. So let's try to restart. Because this is actually working. I've been playing around with this for a few days now. So let's see now. There we go. Okay, and I think that's okay. Like, we had like a really old dependency. We installed a new one, which had like a dependency to a different version of our existing dependency. And then we added that, and then we removed the other ones. I think Code Sandbox was a little bit confused on which version to use. So we'll let that slide. Anyways, so we have our container. So the width is 100 view width. Max width is 700 pixels. The padding should be 5 because it's a token. And you can see it's actually valid. So if I did like 10 here, it's invalid because it's not a token. So we have the same stuff there. Box sizing is border box. We have the default typing here. It's super nice and it's super fast, which is also insanely nice. Because that's also like a challenge. Yeah, so I think we're going to, yeah, we don't actually need React here. So I think we're actually going to split these up into different components instead of having like one file. So let's see how we'll do that. So we need, what is it? Screen container. Screen container. Let's just copy this stuff over. And what we're, this is, don't need that one. Let's just do it like this. Okay, so we're going to export a screen container, which is also a div. And this has, let's see, display flex. Display flex, justify content, center. This is nice. Align items, center. So some other things that has been fixed in Stitches is basically the styled API. Done tons of iterations there. Been doing this tiny collaboration with modules, if you know that service. It's something coming out soon, and they're kind of like looking around at different existing CSS and JS solutions, because they need to do a lot of composition, and they want to have like this like low level, very generic thing, so you can choose your own CSS and JS library, but they also want to give you something out of the box. So they're kind of like looking at how the different solutions work, showing or giving feedback on what they need, and then I just jumped right into it and started making some changes to the styled API, because at that point when we started talking, the styled API looked very much like the other solutions, but they're actually not ideal how they work. So for example, style components allows you to pass in like a callback like this, and then you get the props. Like the problem with this approach is that there are two problems. One problem is it affects performance, because as soon as you have this callback, whenever this screen container is used, it needs to re-evaluate because it's dynamic, because it's a function. So it needs to call this function with the props to figure out if anything has changed. So it has like a performance hit. And also when you pass in props, there's no way to know which props are going to be passed down to the DOM element and which props are specific for the component. So you get you have to do all of these tricks. Like there's no good solution for this yet. There's tons of suggestions, but it's like a fundamental challenge. While in Stitches, we don't do that at all, actually. We use something that has appeared lately called variants. Like, variants. So variants, it's not like a new concept. It's, sorry, my iPad suddenly disconnected here. Okay, I don't want to, I don't care about that. Oh, damn it. I did something new this time. I'm using my iPad as a second display, and instead of kind of looking at the video, unable to connect. What's this stuff? Oh my god. Okay, learning something new. How do I do this? Christian's iPad. God damn it. This sucks. Why does this? Oh, there we are. Okay, we're back. Weird. That's not good. Anyways, variants. So this is something that has like, it's not new, but there's like this new approach to handling dynamic styling in this styled API. So if we just finish off our height here, 100 view height, margin left, auto, margin right, auto, and then we're actually, we're going to, oh my god, no, not oh my god, this is not a div, this is actually a container. We are going to compose the container, import container from, it's like an extension of the container, where we add some more stuff. But yeah, what we could do here, we could pass a second argument. So we could have like, and we could name it whatever we want. Like for example, size. And then we have like small. And then small could be like font size 18, well, small 10 pixels, for example. What this means is that when I use the screen container now, I get a new property called small. A new property called size, which takes an argument or a value called small, and that will activate this styling. So we flip it around. Instead of doing the dynamic stuff inside the CSS definition, you activate it from the outside by triggering variants. And this is a lot faster because we don't have to re-evaluate. We just have to evaluate the styling once because everything's static. There's no dynamic nature here at all. And then it's rather in the part of your app that's already dynamic, which is the components. That is where you activate the different variants. And you still have the possibility to like override styles dynamically and stuff if you need to do that, but it's not by default. It's like the exception to the rule instead of being the main thing you do. And it's kind of cool, like with typing and stuff, this has been really difficult because as you can see here, I'm like composing the container, and maybe the container has some variants. So when I use a screen container, I want to see the variants of the screen container and the container, stuff like that. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Okay, and then we have our floating button. I can't believe like we're spending half an hour just refactoring 3 styles into 3 components. Like coding takes so much time. Of course, I'm talking like crazy at the same time, but still, it takes time. Floating button, and this should be a button. It's not composing container, it's its own thing. So let's do position absolute. Yeah, I'm really liking this typing. I think the reason I argue that the functional API had better typing, like typing experience, but this is so fast now that like it's almost the same experience. The only thing that's different is that when you actually insert the CSS property, you would, with the functional API, you would call it, and then it would just give you instantly the arguments for border radius. But now you have to like put in the quotes, but maybe it's a number, and then so you kind of don't really know exactly how what arguments you can pass. So it's not like perfect, but it's pretty good. Yeah, and now we have float here, which is nice, which is our own tokenized box shadow. We have display inline token. Yeah, and this is also kind of a thing, like now it stops giving me suggestions, which I kind of don't like. Oh, why do I have inline block and flex? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so that's kind of, this is nice with object syntax. You can't like define the 2 of the same. Like here we have display inline block and flex, and that doesn't really work. So that's interesting. Justify content, center, line item, line items, center. Yes, width 2, height 2, box sizing, border box, blah. There we go. So let's save this and let's go ahead and start. So we have our backlog. Oh, we have some styles here as well. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so let's try to do some composition here as well. Screen container. So we want style instead, and we want, yes, let's see. So we're going to say, so we have our button, and we can just call it button, and this is going to be a styled floating button. Does it find it? No. Okay, that's okay. I can do that. Floating button from UI components, floating button. And we are going to move even more stuff. So we have top, 1 rem, 1 rem. Yeah, so this stuff should really be like tokenized. But anyways, I was probably in a hurry. Background color, transparent, border 0, box shadow none. Okay, so we have our button. Okay, this is the back button. Sorry, back button. Where do we use our back button? Here we use our back button. So now I can just use that thing instead. And I have no idea why it's complaining. What are you complaining about? Oh, maybe it's the whole... Oh. It's not a module. It's not? Oh, no. Oh, my bad. My bad. Oh, shit. What was the... God damn it. Did I really make that mistake? Did I really do that? What the hell was our screen container? What did it look like? Can I... Oh, shit. This is not good. Do we have... No, we don't. Oh, god damn it. Oh. How are we going to find our... Because I don't have the history here. Maybe it's time to connect this to GitHub, actually. So that we have some versioning of this, proper versioning. Does anyone remember how the screen container looked like? God damn it. It has a margin right. Ah, god damn it. I can't believe I actually managed to do that. This is going to be interesting because we did have a bug in Code Sandbox where you saved a file and you kind of lost some content and it felt like that. But it might have been me clicking the wrong button. So I'm going to watch the video, the recording after we're done here to see if that is what actually happened. Because that is super frustrating. But we'll blame me right now, for now. Okay, I'll try to write this from memory. I think it's absolute. And I do think it has a height of view height. And then it had margin left, auto, margin right, auto, and it composed the container from container. Okay, margin left, margin right. We'll see how that works first, and then let's finish off this stuff. Okay, so we had top, one rem black. Yeah, so we finished this one, and then we have our text area, which is a style text area, which didn't really have much. It had read size, none, height 5. So this is the text area, and let's use the screen container here. Import screen container from UI components, screen container, and then we're going to use that instead. Let's remove this and let's see if we can get this thing. Yeah, so this is like a weird bug. So you can see here when you hover the on change, you see that the event is a React change event. So it's like correctly typed, but when we hover the actual event, it's any. I haven't figured out how to solve that yet. It's actually quite annoying. And I think, yeah, now I'm suddenly getting bad streaming again. This really sucks. I'm getting like this message about not enough data. Weird. Anyways, so this needs to be fixed. I'll just use like any here for now. And then we'll have to see why the hell this is acting up. Style button. Floating button. Screen container. Why is this acting up? Value.split. That's weird. That is weird. Is there a bug inside stitches maybe? Or is this, I hate refactoring like this, because you have all these errors, and then let's just push through here and then we'll see what the hell's going on here. And this was supposed to be like a fun, clean refactor. Like as if something like that actually exists. Screen container. Background color. Main. Oh yeah, I think this was just something we were playing around with. Let's remove that. And we'll do screen container from UI components. Screen container. Then we'll do screen container. Screen container. Okay, so here we have add backlog item button. Style floating button, I guess. Yeah, there's something going on there. I'm going to fix this, but it's interesting why it doesn't work. Bottom one rem, right one rem, color is white, background, shouldn't I get, yeah, it's tons of, oh yeah, of course, I haven't imported style. Background color is main, border color is black. Then we're going to use the add backlog item button like that. And we have our floating button, but we also need our screen container. Oh my god, so many errors. Screen container. Why is this cannot find module? Looks like something has happened with or maybe I'm writing something wrong. Floating button. Oh, maybe I didn't save it. That might be it. I wonder why this is giving an error. It shouldn't do that. Okay, I think I'm going to review this session after it's done, because there's something weird happening here. Why is this complaining? Floating button. Or a floating button.tsx. Yeah, there's something really weird going on there. It's as if it's undefined or something. That's why it's giving this error, and this is why, like, this is giving error as well. Okay, so let's just try to refresh again and see what happens. This is definitely a code sandbox bug. Well, I like to blame other people than myself. Well, in this case, other people is code sandbox, which is myself. So, well, I guess I am okay. Okay, so it finds the floating button, but for some reason it's still giving an error on that. And this is so weird. Like, this is super, super weird. Yeah, and it does have it. So there's something else going on here. Value.split. Oh, I know why. There we have it. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, so that was yeah, it was my fault, no matter. Because I thought the border, it needs that to be a string, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a string. So I need to fix that. I'll actually fix that immediately. But let's keep it as a string for now. Okay, cool. And I guess our screen container is not really working because this is supposed to be in the center. Yeah, why do we have an extra div there? Oh yeah, so screen container was also display flex. I remember that. Yeah, and justify content. Center, align items, center. Okay, now it's starting to look like something. So I guess we can finish this off by actually logging in. And if you remember, Firebase has this security thing where it can't log in inside an iframe. So we'll have to open it in a new window and log in here. Let's see if it... Oh, wait. Are we on a new... No, are we? Are we on a new domain now? I think maybe we are. Yeah, unauthorized domain. Oh, god damn it. Is this... Oh, maybe this isn't our... Okay. I think actually we forked the week planner last time. So we're kind of on a different branch of it. So I have to... okay, but let's make this our new... I wish... okay, this is going to be feedback for Code Sandbox. Like when you fork something, it would be really nice if the title, like the title here, would get like copy or something. Because it's really hard when you create forks of your projects just to test something to find back to the original one. Yeah, that's really good feedback. If you're still here, Danny, write that down. So let me just go here. I really want to just log in and take a look before we finish this off. What was it? Family Scrum Dev. We had to go to, was it project settings? And there was like users and permissions. No, it's not here. Where was it? Hosting. No, authentication. That's the thing. Here it is. Somewhere. Sign in method. Here we are. You can see we already have some domains there. csb.app. Let's add that. Cool. And let's try to log in again. Yeah, and since this is going to work on mobile, we have this redirect thing. So we're not using like the pop-up version just because we're lazy. Oh, didn't I click? So we should be logged in now. Or do we have some other errors? Maybe we have some other... Oh, there we are. That took a long time. Okay, anyways, it works. Let's refresh here now. We should be good. Yeah, thanks for that feedback, Ruben. Now we have 2 people who wants that feature. And this is like, it's super easy for us to do this. So it might be out already today even. Okay, cool. And if I... Yay! We have our buttons and they look the same, which is nice. Or this one shouldn't have a box shadow, should it? Yeah, that's interesting. Oh no. There's something wrong and I'm supposed to stop now. Oh, been here before. They have a shadow. Ah, interesting. I think it's because... Could it be because we're using a variable for the shadow? And then this is not a variable. And for some reason... Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to check that. So there are 2 bugs here. One bug being that it might be a number that we pass in, so we can't like split. I guess that was on border. And then we have this box shadow that shouldn't actually be there because we're saying box shadow none. Cool. I'll fix that for next time, and then we'll actually go in and build the rest, like continue on our app, so my so our product owner is happy. Okay, thanks for following along. I'm been getting a few messages here about the bad streaming conditions, but I'll go through the video and see what I can do to improve that. Cool. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.